Okay, now let's look into the second video of the section. So throughout coding and programming, what you will see is that there is a lot of places where we're going to use if-else statements. But by if-else statements, I mean conditional operation. If, for example, you want to check if there is a condition, then you want to do something, right? And that's where if statements come to play. For example, I don't know, like if Ali is thirsty, then Ali should drink water. Or if Ali's not thirsty, Ali shouldn't drink water, right? This is a condition that we have to check and see if he's thirsty or not, and then tell him to drink water or not drink water, right? And now that's what I'm going to code to demonstrate what's happening here. And let's start from there, okay? So first of all, I'm going to put a variable. I'm going to call it is Ali or does Ali want water? And I'm going to set this to true because I am thirsty, okay? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put an if statement here. I'm going to say if, and, you know, I'm working with a condition, so I'm going to put a condition here. So condition. And then if the condition is true, I'm going to print you should drink water. And if I am otherwise, else, if I'm not thirsty, it's going to say print you don't need water, right? And now if I run this, I'm going to get an error because, you know, I haven't put a condition here. And by condition, we mean something that's going to give me a true or false value. A way I can do this is using this variable here, right? If I copy and paste it here, it's going to check if the value here is true, then it's going to run this part block. And if it's not true, it's going to run this block, right? Let's see this. As you see, it prints for me that you should drink water. Why? Because I am thirsty. And if I am not thirsty, let's put false here. If I run it again, you see that it says you don't need water, right? So it just skips this block and just runs this block of code. And just remember, always we have to put 4 indentations here just to be able to separate our code and structure it properly so everyone can read it. Okay, this is the basics. Now what we can do is we can make it more complex. Instead of putting the value here, we can make a comparison. For example, I'm going to be like Ali's water level. And let's say my water level is 75. And if my water level goes below 60, I have to drink some water. So I'm going to say if Ali's water level is less than or equal to 65, I have to tell him that he should drink water. And if it's not, then he doesn't need to drink water. And right now, because my water level is 75, I don't have to drink water. And if I run it, it says you don't need water as we expected. Now let's clear this again. And now let's change this to 60 because now you know I've done a YouTube video and I'm tired, so I want to see what my system's going to tell me. And if I run it, my system says, "Hey Ali, you should drink some water." Okay, perfect. Thank you very much, system. Okay, and so basically what it means is that the condition that we put here, if the condition returns true, then what's going to happen is it's going to what is it called? What's going to happen is it's going to run this block of code. And if it's false, then it's not going to run this. It's going to run the else block. Now, what if we want to have a second condition? For example, I'm going to restructure this a little bit. I'm going to check, in my if statement, I'm going to check if my water level is bigger than 65. And if it is bigger than 65, I'm going to print, you don't need water. Okay? Now, if this is not true, else, I want to write the third condition here, right? I mean, okay. Else, if this doesn't happen, let's start from here. And the idea is that if Ali's water level is below 45, he needs water urgently. So I'm going to print, you need water right now. Right? Or else Ali's going to die. And now what I want to do is, instead of writing this, I want to check for the range between 65 and 45. Right? And if it's, you know, if that range, if Ali's water level is between that range, then Ali just needs water. And if it's below, he needs water right now because he has to have some water really quickly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write elif, which means else if, and I'm going to write another condition here. So I'm going to be like, else if Ali's water level is less than or equal to 65, but it is greater than 45, right? If this happens, if Ali's water level is in that range, then I'm going to print that you need water. Okay? Now what's going to happen is, because my water level is 60, if I run it, you see that it says you need water. Okay, now if I clear this, and let's change this to 67, which is the first one, you see it says you don't need water. But if my water level is 45 and below, if I run it, you see that it says you need water right now. Okay? And this is the basics of if statements. What you can do is you can put more complex conditions here, which we will look into in the third part of this course, which we can go into like more advanced stuff. But for now, all you need to know is that you make this condition and then you write a block of code. And then if you want to choose which block of code to run, you can either use an else statement if you're just using two, or you can use an elif statement to do more than two scenarios, if that makes sense. And yeah, that's basically the basics of an if statement. It's pretty straightforward. We'll have the opportunity to like work with it more and like learn it more when we go a bit more advanced and dig a bit more deeper into more cool stuff. But for now, all you need to know is this. And we will, in the next video, what we're going to do is we're going to use these conditions to make loops. And we're going to also talk about where loops come from. Okay? That's all for today. I hope you enjoy and have a good day.